Hi everyone! Welcome to the weekly console gaming news roundup. Today's big stuff. Shuhei Yoshida predicts the PlayStation 6 in 2028. Xbox is chilling out on exclusives, Miyazaki's hinting at Bloodborne, and the Days Gone Remaster. Super popular! Alright friends, let's jump into the latest console gaming vibes. A few episodes ago, I talked about a fan-made portable PlayStation 4, built from scratch to play favorite games anywhere. Recently, an Xbox fan created their own portable version, this time based on the Xbox 360. You can find a full video series about this mod on Victor Sanchez's channel. I have to say, the final result looks incredibly authentic, just like the original console. Big respect to fans like that. Now let's move on. Here's some interesting news about the PlayStation 6. According to the former head of PlayStation Studios, the last console lifecycle lasted 7 years. If the PlayStation 6 sticks to that timeline and launches in 2027, it might feel off, like it's coming out too soon. That's why Shuhei Yoshida thinks a release in 2028 makes more sense. He also mentioned that the PlayStation 5 generation got held back by production issues tied to COVID-19 and a shortage of components, especially chips. The PlayStation 5 just had its best sales quarter yet, with total device sales topping the PlayStation 4 in its first 50 months. I agree with this PlayStation veteran. Just imagine, a new PlayStation 6 in 2.5 years? Does the market even need a new generation? Honestly, I'm not sure, since some games are still coming out on PlayStation 4 today. Pushing the release back by 1 year would be a pretty reasonable move, given how things are right now. A quick heads up for all PlayStation Plus Extra, Deluxe, and Premium subscribers. On March 18, 9 titles will leave the catalog, some key ones worth mentioning: Resident Evil 3 Remake, Life is Strange 2, Life is Strange True Colors, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Street Fighter V with Champions Edition, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. In my opinion, there's still plenty of time to finish the big titles before they're gone, so hurry up. By the way, Resident Evil can be beaten in about 6 hours, so keep that in mind. Even though lots of people were joking and buzzing about the Days Gone remaster, it's suddenly topping charts on the PlayStation Store in the US. Odd as it sounds, the remaster's catching up to Assassin's Creed Shadows in popularity, despite all the doubts about whether anyone even wanted it. One thing that might have helped, if you've got the PlayStation 4 version, you don't need to buy it again. Just pay a $10 upgrade fee. To be honest, the PlayStation 4 version still looks decent on PlayStation 5 in 4K at 60 frames per second. I'm not convinced the $10 upgrade is worth it, but I'll pre-order it at launch to share my thoughts with you. Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, announced that Xbox presentations will now show logos for other platforms, like PlayStation and Nintendo. Normally, platform holders don't mention during streams that a game's also coming to, say, PlayStation 5 or Nintendo Switch. But now, Phil Spencer says the Xbox team wants to be maximally transparent about getting info to players. If a game isn't exclusive to Xbox, they'll show that in trailers at their own events. It's starting to feel like Xbox might just ditch consoles altogether and focus on subscriptions and extra services. If they do step back from the console fight, I'm 99% sure Xbox Game Pass could show up on PlayStation consoles soon, kind of like EA Play or Rockstar's subscription works now. Word's out that Insomniac Games, the folks behind titles like Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man, originally planned to make Resistance 4, but Sony said no. Insomniac founder Ted Price shared that the studio wanted to keep the Resistance series going, but Sony, as the publisher, turned it down to focus on bigger selling franchises. Instead, they worked on Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, Ratchet and Clank 2016, and their key project today, Marvel's Spider-Man. It looks like Miyazaki's planning a Bloodborne sequel. Participants in the closed Elden Ring Night Reigns beta got an unusual survey asking if they'd like new projects in the Bloodborne universe. Miyazaki's said before that Sony isn't blocking a sequel or re-release of classic Bloodborne, but he hasn't been working on it, focusing on other projects instead. I think this question popping up isn't random. We might get more details soon. Here's some potentially bad news about The Last of Us Part 3. Neil Druckmann shared a bit about his vision for the third chapter. He says it's up to us to decide if we want more. If they can't come up with something good, they've got a great, strong ending with the second part, and that could be it for the series. From his short but telling answer, it seems the team hasn't started on the third part yet. It's possible the world won't see another chapter, at least not with Ellie as the lead. Also, an interview with Shuhei Yoshida revealed that a multiplayer project for The Last of Us, worked on by Naughty Dog, got cancelled due to a lack of resources. The studio just couldn't handle a live service game and a new single-player title at the same time. Once again, Sony's rolled out a new merch line for PlayStation's 30-year anniversary. This time, it's 4 items. First up, a bag styled like the original PlayStation 1, priced at 7,700 Japanese yen, or about $50. A set of 3 keychains will run you around $20, but honestly, It's not that exciting. A bigger set of 8 keychains themed around games from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 3 costs $40. To me, that price feels a bit steep, but you do get some cool stylized keychains. And the fourth item, a themed cap, goes for $25. Honestly, I'm not sure it's worth it, but fans will probably snatch it up anyway. Stream charts tallied up the peak viewership for Sony's latest State of Play presentation. Turns out it was the most popular in the series so far, with over 2 million people watching at once across platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and more. And keep in mind, this wasn't even the biggest broadcast this year. Those are called showcases. I can't even imagine how big the next one might get. This data really shows how much gamer interest has spiked. Maybe next time it'll live up to the hype. Console gaming fans in the Netherlands have filed a class action lawsuit against Sony over high digital game prices. The AMC Foundation claims digital versions cost 47% more on average than physical ones, even with lower distribution costs. It's not the first time Sony's faced legal heat. Similar claims popped up in the UK and Portugal before. Now it's hit the Netherlands, where PlayStation users can join the suit. The lawsuit argues that PlayStation players can't buy games from third-party sellers, unlike on Xbox or Nintendo Switch. That means they're stuck buying digital copies only through the official store, where prices are way higher. If PlayStation users win, though I seriously doubt they will, Sony would have to open its digital platform to other sellers, which could lower prices. In simpler terms, third-party digital services could sell game vouchers or codes online for specific titles. That way, the final price wouldn't include the PlayStation Store's extra commission, which, if I recall, is around 30%. Gaming journalists and outlets are raving about the new game from Hazelight Studios, the team behind It Takes Two. Those lucky enough to play Split Friction say the developers came up with even more mechanics. The visuals are super stylish and detailed, and the co-op gameplay feels more polished and original than their past work. They're predicting it'll be a hit with huge sales. Since not many companies are making quality split-screen co-op games these days, this could totally be a masterpiece that takes off big time. Warhorse Studios shared a little milestone. In less than 2 weeks, their bestseller Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 sold over 2 million copies. Considering they spent a measly $40 million on development, it paid off even after the first million sales. Say what you will, but games with that kind of attention to detail aren't common these days. That's why Kingdom Come Deliverance was pretty much set for some solid success and praise from tons of players. Sega's holding an exclusive closed beta test for Sonic Racing Crossing World running from February 21st to 23rd. It'll only be available on PlayStation 5, even though the game's coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. To join, you need to apply on the official website. I'll drop the link in the description somewhere. So, submit your applications and wait for a beta key as feedback. It's not like the beta's a must-do, but trying out this upcoming game early could be pretty fun, so keep it in mind. And to wrap things up, while Sony's been working on a PlayStation 3 emulator for years, according to rumors, and still hasn't wrapped it up since they haven't revealed it yet, a fan boldly stepped in and crafted their own. Even better, it's for smartphones called APS-3E. With classics like Killzone 2, Killzone 3, the Resistance series, and Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots still not ported, this gives you a chance to play them on the go. Almost. The twist? It was built on open source code, but the developer shut it down, asking for $2,000 to share it. That broke GitHub's rules, so the post got removed. Still, there's hope now that a less greedy fan might whip up their own version soon. Well, my dear friends, thanks for tuning in. This has been the IT Wednesday channel. Catch you in the next episode.